those yeah, all obedience in the shores of Nigeria and of course in the diaspora. I welcome you to today's edition of the show, review of the debate, clash of the supporters. This holds very Tuesday on Daddyfreeze. And then on Thursday, like today, we'll review the debate of the week. Alright, my name is Wilo. I am your friend and compatriot, a concerned Nigerian. And I'm presenting for and on behalf of Team Peter, Obi, and that's life. With me tonight is Obina from Benin. And Obina has been a consistent comrade, compatriot in the movement to take back our country. Obina, how are you over there?
Good evening, Mr. Tilo. Good evening, Nigerians. I am good, and we are all bubbling for this season.
Yes. Well, thank you, and I'm glad to have you with me on tonight's show. Yes, do not forget that you can join us live on this program. Just indicate your readiness to contribute to the program live, and we will bring you on board, coming through the link that will forward to you. But then you can still forward your comments, your questions, and suggestions using any of our social media handles, all right, which is displayed on the screen. Tonight, let us look once again at the topic that was attended during the Daddyfreeze live program, Clash of the Titans, that's Clash of the Supporters. What topic did we handle? Yes, it was resource management in governance. Resource management in government, rather. Well, some people would think that resource management has only to do with resource control. No, that's a different thing. Resource control is about states having control of their own resources and handling it in their own way. But no, that's not what we are looking at. We are looking at resource management. And the definition of that points to the fact that resource are of different types, is a complete package of both factors of production and the manufacturing. We talk about land and everything that is within it, natural resources and the likes, agriculture and all that. You talk about capital, which has to do with fund, money, and near money instruments. You talk about technology and ICT, of course, these are resources. You talk about human capital, human resources. That is talking about the people, okay, and demography. But again, management. Management is part of it. One might think that that's part of the people. No, people are more about those who provide the required labor. So sometimes people are referred in management as labor. And so we have another factor. It's called management. Management, the entrepreneur, the owners of business, and daily business decision makers, policy makers that have the responsibility of combining various other factors of production to achieve a set goal, desired result. Now, resource management is not only seen in the business world, by that we mean the corporate and the private sector. No, we are looking at it today from the perspective of governance, public administration. And it's important that we look at this because for a country to be productive, then factors of production must be effectively and efficiently combined by the managers of the country. And this is a time when Nigerians are going to hire a new CEO who will run the affairs of this country. And of course, for the good of all, it's important, therefore, that we look at resource management and choose a leader who will find in him to have the capacity, the character, and of course, the competence to effectively control the various factors of production vis-a-vis the resources of the country. So, having cleared this, sit back and join us as we take you through this narrative. We expect to have with us Mr. Peter Ebejere, who represented Team Peter Obi during the debate, of course, the WASPO section of it. Before we proceed, we have a number of events that happened this week, and in our usual way, we look at things that happened during the week. Okay, very retrospect. But before then, we'll have a video that we'd like you to watch to set the day moving. And then we'll come back. We're going
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
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 Mama, papa, where your PVC?
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
Brother, see.
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
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 Mama, papa, where your PVC?
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
Brother, sister, show me your PVC.
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
Yeah, Obi get ability, carry go. Obi get the discipline, carry go. Forward ever, backward never. Get your BBC, they give them waka. Ahead, yo, we go follow Obi go. Anywhere you dey, we go follow am go. Mama, papa, get your BBC. Brother, sister, make we start activity. Iyelele, na beat Obi. Morning, noon and night, no beat Obi. Get your BBC, Obi, go Obi. If not to make a choice, wanna beat Obi. Ebelebe, bola, everywhere na beat Obi. Ebelebe, bola, everywhere na beat Obi. Kowara yaka, koporo yaka, kowara yegu.
We a masara wa, we a masata pi.
Jofu, matofu. Obedience is better than sacrifice.
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 Mama, papa, where your PVC?
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
Brother, sister, show me your PVC.
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
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 Mama, papa, where your PVC?
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
Brother, sister, show me your PVC.
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
Kererenke, Obi, kererenke, Obi, kererenke. Kowara yaka, koporo yaka.
We a masara wa, we a masata pi. Obedience is better than sacrifice.
Oh, and I was still dancing to that wonderfully obedience is better than sacrifice. Well, coined from the book of wisdom, the Holy Bible. Obedience is better than sacrifice. And now we are talking about obedience, we are talking about Peter Obi's government. And this is a mantra, that was coined by Nigerians, the suffering majority of the Nigerian population, who are, as a matter of fact, tired of the current condition of the country and wants to have good governance for all. So they are the ones pushing the obedient movement. And from the recent polls conducted, which of course forms part of what happened during the week, it shows clearly that His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi is leading the poll conducted by ANAMS. And ANAMS is an organization that has been into poll conducting for years now, and all their polls have proven to be correct, very accurate, including that for the United States presidency. Would they be wrong this time around? Your guess is as good as mine. But Peter Obi is leading clearly in the polls they've conducted. And of course, every other polls that have been conducted. Now, that was a part of what happened this week. And within the week, we also saw a video that went viral showing the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Party, APC, All Progressive Congress. Sometimes people make the mistake of not even getting their name, going by what they brought on board, Nigerian space. In the video, both the presidential candidate and his vice presidential candidate were seen sitting on the table and with a man sitting in between them.
Thank you very much.
Only looking at that, you wouldn't see that man as a guest.
Thank you very much.
Wouldn't be done in a healing way. It will come publicly. So this video is still being analyzed by concerned Nigerians, and we hope that people will begin to learn from things like this in their decision during the polls. So that's one. Another one that happened during the week. We are talking about the court session that saw to the indictment of the former Director General of the Presidential Campaign Council of the Labour Party, by name Doyin Okupe. His matter had been in the court for some years now, starting 2018. But this week, the court started.
Let's talk about the Labour Party and some of the issues that are being generated now in the exit of Dr. Doyin Okupe as the Director General of the Presidential Campaign Organization. Let's speak to the spokesperson of the Labour Party Campaign Organization, Mr. Yunusa Tanko. He joins us live via Zoom, virtually from Uyo, the capital of Akwa Ibom State. Thank you so much, Dr. Tanko, for joining us tonight. And give us an understanding, the news of Dr. Okupe being sentenced to prison yesterday. How does this come to your campaign?
Well, to say the truth, it came as a rude shock to all of us. And I must say here that Dr. Doyin Okupe is an exceptional Democrat who believes in the rule of law, who is working very hard to ensure that Nigeria is taken back to the hands of the people. So immediately when we got this particular news, it took us aback normally as a group of people. But you have to remember that this movement is not about one person, it's a collective interest of everybody who want to take back Nigeria into the hands of the Nigerian people. So it only will strengthen us. We will look within ourselves and take the right decision at the highest level. As we speak, The campaign council is yet to meet to take a decision on what has happened. And we, on our part, will remain resolute and determined to continue on our sojourn in order to change the narrative and getting 133 million Nigerians out of poverty. This is the target of our principal and his vice, Deti Baba Ahmed. And you also recall that he made this particular statement in the same Uyo yesterday as regard to the fact that we know that there have been a syndicated attack from a lot of our opponents, starting from the registration point for the PVC and then collection, destruction of property, and then eventually killing of our people. And so we've already called on the local and international community to look at this syndicated attack on the persons of our own collective interest, and as a political party and as a movement. We are not going to be deterred, are not going to be also be intimidated by anybody or any action of a group of people, because for us, Nigeria is our target, and getting Nigeria back on the right track is what we believe that we are going to do. And so we will continue to move on.
Yeah. So immediately, are you having any consideration for our replacement for Dr. Doyin Okupe? Are there names that you're considering? Because we are hearing a few names. Can you tell us who are those that you're considering for that role?
Now, we have not officially made pronouncement as even regard to the resignation that you read out early on this particular show. Until when the campaign council meet and they will take a decision on whether what to do and how to do it next. So those particular names probably will also be speculation until when the campaign council meets, because you see, we are not an independent person that one singular person will take a decision. It is a collective decision for the interest of the Nigerian people.
Was the campaign or Mr. Obi considering sacking Dr. Okupe? Or, I mean, what was the thinking of the campaign when that the judgment came about yesterday?
When the judgment came, we only went back into our drawing board to look at the plus or minuses of this particular pronouncement. And looking at it out of it. But there was no particular decision that was made.
Okay. And that was Tanko Yanusa, the spokesperson of the campaign council of Peter Obi. Now, the takeaway from this video is that Doyin Okupe, who was convicted by the court, has the right of appeal. And the development that came up later shows that he has appealed the judgment of the court. But by and large, this matter had been before the court since 2018. So it has got absolutely nothing to do with the candidacy of P2B and the obedient movement generally. But there is a lesson here. For the first time in the history of this nation, Nigeria, we are seeing a politician and a group who believes that when he has something on his neck which is battling with that issue, step aside voluntarily and allow the good cause of the people to chicken. So Doyin Okupe has set the pace, and Labour Party and obedience generally have shown the right way of behavior. So we'll give it to them. Now, talking about the conviction, out of the numerous count charges that were hit on him, the court struck out many and said they don't hold ground. But he was found guilty on a section that points on accepting money in cash in excess of provided limits in the Money Laundering Act. And the court did say that he is not found guilty on money laundering itself. Now, there are two different things. Money laundering is different from Money Laundering Act. The act is what regulates activities that directly or indirectly carries on money laundering or can aid money laundering or will make it impossible to investigate money laundering. And doing transaction in excess of the legally provided limit in the Money Laundering Act, it is in itself not the money laundering. Now, the court also did not say that he received illegal money, for the money in question was duly approved by the president as at that time. So it wasn't illegal. Now, thirdly, he did not use the money for his personal purpose. Of course, the court did not find him wanting that. They only said that he transacted outside the banking institution an amount that is bigger than what is provided. And for an individual, it is 5 million. All right. The interpretation of the appellate is being awaited, and the Nigerians will get to know. But the good thing is that Doyin did not carry out money laundering activity. So he's not guilty of that as the court has given the verdict. Let's move forward. This week still, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party was in Akwa Ibom State and he met with university students. The video is also viral and we could also see and hear what he said to the youth. He talked about structure. He talked about the people who have kept Nigeria down, fighting back, and ganging up against his candidacy, which represents taking Nigeria from consumption to production. The youth are excited. I am excited. All concerned Nigerians are excited. And we look forward to that change, real and honest change. And we are going to be part of it by doing what we should do at the poll, by voting Peter Obi, Labour Party, Papa and Mama logo. Tonight, we are having in our midst Mr. Peter Ebejore. I hope I got this surname very well, but Peter is a lecturer and a concerned Nigerian. If Peter is on board, please come on and say hi to Nigerians. This young man is a concerned Nigerian who has done so much, a lot, to promote the obedient movement. And he's one of the major debaters on Daddyfreeze Live for Peter Obi, and of course, against Team Ashwaju and Team Atiku Abubakar. And what he does is not just to debate, but more or less to educate on why good governance should be embraced, on why Peter Obi should be the next president of Nigeria, and of course, his many promises that are seen to be real and not deceitful. Bring Peter on board so he can say hi to Nigeria. Is he there now? Okay. While we wait for Peter Obi, let me remind you that the topic is resource management in government.
Mr. Tulu, we have Peter.
Yes.
We actually have Peter on board here, but I think he's having challenges with allowing his video and mic. You know that he's going to find out the section when he's connecting to the studio. So I want him to maybe go out and try to refresh the page entirely again and try entering with the code afresh, the journey code. I'm sure you will get a different result.
So once he comes, at him, maybe he gets guided on the need to look at the page and then swipe up, then he will see the icon for both the mic and again for the video. So he can click there to make himself visible and audible. So we'll wait for Peter to come up, and then while we do that, let's proceed with a review of the definition which I had made earlier on resource and of course resource management. And I had mentioned that to a country, everything that is within the country's reach, naturally given by God, is part of the resources. They form the resources. So once Peter comes up, please notify me so we can give you an opportunity to say hi.
Please,
So during the debate,
try and see if you can speak now. Try and see if you can speak. issue of Daddyfreeze.
We'll hear him and give him.
Okay, so why we wait for him? Recall that we did mention what a resource, extends to, and we did also say that Peter Obi, from his records, all right, has proven to be a good resource manager, both in the private sector, the business world, and of course in public sector as the governor of Anambra State. Now, the time to hire a new CEO from Nigeria is here. February 25, Nigerians will go to the poll to make a decision. And the question is, amongst the major candidates, who do you trust to manage your resources? It's no longer news that Peter Obi has proven to be a prudent manager. Instead of wasting money, he saves money. And of course, he allocates the saved resources rightly and judiciously to achieve much more for the people. He rejects personal benefits and of course gives them all in to the good of the people. He didn't just do this as a governor of Anambra State, where he treated lands and other benefits that usually accrue to governors or given to them by sycophants. But he went further to do it also in private sector. As a chairman of stock exchange, he didn't receive any of such things, and he rejected even car gifts or benefits. So we have known him to be that. And of course, the way he carries himself in the public shows clearly that he is not a man that is wasteful. If he cannot waste his personal money, the organization's money, the corporate money, and of course the state money in Anambra State, do you think that as a president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, he will be wasteful? He has said that he is going to cut down on cost of governance. And not just doing that, he is also going to remove subsidy on petroleum. And not just removing subsidy on petroleum, that he will mop up the saved fund from these sources and apply them on critical areas: security, education, agriculture, infrastructure development, health development, and all that. And what do Nigerians need? Somebody who will attend to their needs, starting from the basic to the advanced. Food provision by giving food security, physical security to lives and properties, providing health care, that's health security, education security, and promotion. And these are areas that Peter said. On infrastructure, he did say that starting with power, he is going to extend it to the other infrastructural needs: road construction, provision of pipe-borne water, and all that. Resource management. And now he has said, the principle of comparative advantage, knowing your strength where you have it more and using it to achieve more, both for your good and for the good of others, is a strategy that he's going to use to see that religiously, with fairness, every sub-national of the Federal Republic will get to be responsible.
Which school did the Wright brothers go to discover?
All right. It appears so that for the first time, somebody is beginning to see that every state in Nigeria has its own strength. Unfortunately, these strengths have not been harvested over years. And the result of that is that the economy has become a mono economy, focused and dependent only on oil. And with the threat of the oil war, Nigeria is at high risk. Coupled also with the illegal bunkering and the stealing of this oil by criminals. The revenue that should be accruable to Nigeria has dwindled. And What are we left with? We need to retrospect, we need to diversify, and we need to consolidate on diversified areas. And that is talking about agriculture, that is talking about education, that is talking about infrastructure, that is talking about health, that is talking about so many other things, both natural resources that are yet to be tapped. Please do not forget that Peter is coming up, and the moment he says hi, we'll give him the mic. Now, during the debate proper, observations are that Peter Obi was actually educating the populace, while Tim Atiku and Tim Ashwaju left the topic and went to pick on Doyin Okupe, who even performed and carried out a honorable action by resigning his position and informing Nigerians that they should not lose their eyes on the ball. Take your destiny in your hand, not depending on old, crooked, and corrupt politicians, but seek deliverance from amongst yourself and for yourself. And that is what the Obedient Movement is doing, of course, in conjunction with Labour Party. Farotimi tonight on Channels Television said something that caught the attention of many Nigerians. And he said, Labour Party is not just a party, that it is a movement of the obedient, of people who are tired and who desire a change. Is Peter up now? Otherwise, let's have the video so that Nigerians will see what happened again. Play the video, please, while we wait for Peter.
Discover this. Which school did the Wright brothers go to discover the plane can fly? Where did Newton?
Make it audible. The audio is down.
Physics, chemistry. Which school did they go to? There's no school.
This video is a video of Peter Obi addressing students in Akwa Ibom.
Even pastors. Pastor Paul Enencha and the wife are doctors. What has it to do with pastoring? So you cannot do, but we must create a world for opportunities to be created. That is what is critical. Somebody said, when do you stop learning? There's no time to stop learning. If you stop learning, your life is finished. You know the best, did you know the most critical thing about leadership? Listening and learning. Anybody who cannot listen and learn, don't put you in position of leadership. Anybody who knows everything is an idiot. Don't stay in one place with him. Because you don't. If I tell you what I've learned this morning, it will shock you. You must listen and learn from people. That's how the world is changed. If I go home, I call my gate man. I say, then when I was in Lagos, I was chairman of a bank. I call him and I say, Elijah, I drink only one alcohol. Yes. So I said to him, Elijah, buy one bottle, we'll share it. Always. So when we're doing that, Elijah is telling me, Elijah knows everything that happens around that place. I don't know. Elijah knows. He tells me who moved in, who is moving out with his wife, who is very listening. Elijah knows all those things. I don't know it. But I must listen to Elijah. He will even tell me, see that man, okay, make you know they call him again. That man know be better man. I said, Elijah, how do you know? He said the other day, police come in his house. When he investigates the thing where they talk, I know like him. I said, Elijah, what is it? He will tell you. But here, we assume that, oh, he's just, this man is a small man. He's not the same way. Everybody has his own value. Whatever I am is by his grace. And that grace should not be abused. That's why people steal public money, but they didn't know that they're governed by the grace of God. If they know, they won't take their money. Because you are abusing the grace of God. And Mr. Obi is where he is because of his grace. And I listen to you. That's why I called you this morning. Not because people say, why don't you sleep? What are you going to do with these students? Tomorrow they'll give them money, they'll do something else. That's what everybody tells me. I say, well, let me go to them. Maybe I'll change 2 of them. So, I'm being honest with you. Where's Mr. Jack? Where is he? What did I tell you today? I said, even if there are 2, let me talk to the 2. In this nonsense I'm talking. But I believe that 2 of you will go out here convinced I'm saying the right thing. I believe that 2 of you will go out and say, maybe it's time to look at this man. Rather, 2 of you will go here and know that this job requires physical and mental energy. It is not a retirement home. Now. What's your own? Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
Hello. My question is on police harassment. Sir, 3 years back, say 3-4 years, I went out. We want to go rent an apartment. But I'm going out, stop us for road. They stop us. I was not on this. I was on lookout. They stopped us and took us inside their van, started driving around town. My friend is doing Instagram influencing job. So after saying that, they say they will take us to the station and arrest us and everything.
Okay.
We have to pay money. It's not the first time I'm paying money. And I don't have money.
This is a very important question. Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
These people are harassing you this side, though. You must go this side.
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
My name is Ambassador Yang. I'm a student of the Faculty of Education in the University of U. I was in a rural area in Akwa Ibom State a few weeks back, and what I heard about the pupils there in the public schools was not encouraging at all. So I want to know what measures would be taken to improve impromptu inspections in public schools so that we can improve pupils who will become better students in the Nigerian universities tomorrow.
Okay. Go this side. People know what make I go from here.
Good morning, sir.
Okay.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. My question is not about the Nigerian institution. My prayer is all about the Nigerian stakeholders. Because that is what is killing Nigeria. Nigerian stakeholders.
Yes.
My question is, where will you do concern the stakeholders? Because definitely you will match the president tomorrow, come to the 2022. Now, the thing is, yes, you might be up there doing everything for us, but it might not come to us. Why? Because of the stakeholders which you have. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, let's start for him. You're a stakeholder. Who appointed them stakeholders? No, who appointed them stakeholders?
The president.
No, how can the president appoint them stakeholder? I'm here with you. You are a stakeholder. Don't ever use the word Nigerian stakeholders. When I started this journey, they said to me, you can't get to anywhere because you have no what? No structure. Did you hear what I said? They said you can't get anywhere with you have no structure. Peter, what this thing you do will end up in 1 month. It will end up in 2 weeks. Have no structure, no councillor, no local government chairman, nobody, no godfather. What are you? This man doesn't know what he's talking. Guess what now? They are now trying to know. If you don't know, they are now combining to stop this man. Because if we don't stop him, this man might retire all of us. We will change it. That structure they have is structure of criminality. It's structure that makes school to be on strike. It's structure that steals their money. It's structure that brings 100 and something million people in poverty. We must dismantle it. If we don't, it will consume all of us. And it is important. That's why I have a son.
Okay, over the video. And
that's why police can harass you. You know why? Because police do not understand. All they do is to look. They're creating the war.
Okay, we've seen the video and you could hear Peter will be answering the questions that are posed to him by the students. Very interesting and important questions. At least today, a Nigerian student has gotten to know that he is an equal stakeholder in Nigerian project. Nobody should feel second-class citizen. You are not a second-class citizen. We are equal citizens in this project, and therefore we have voice. We have to say as it is. We have to do our part, our civil responsibility. We have to also demand for our rights. Nobody should take the back seat in this project. So you come out there on the 25th of February, cast your vote, and cast it wisely for Peter Obi. And do it well so that you don't submit an invalid vote. Sit there and ensure that the votes are counted and the results are declared, and of course transmitted electronically as demanded by the law. Now, I was saying that in the debate of the week, the opposition camps, Team Atiku Abubakar and Team Pat Tinubu, were busy picking on Doyin Okupe, who even has shown that he is a nobleman and a responsible citizen. They avoided very intentionally the topic of the day, resource management in government, because clearly they know that their principals lack the capacity and of course the character to manage our resources very well. One of them in his submission, as the representative of Atiku Abubakar, even decided not to touch resources and of course resource management as the word required, but he decided to talk about natural resources. When you don't talk about natural resources, it's even more important to talk about human resources and of course the managers, because they are the ones that will bring out the benefits that are in other resources and use them well for the people. The other team, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we are busy talking about the Okupe, and of course, sparingly, we talked about the claims, the deceitful claims that Tinubu transformed Lagos, that he built Lagos rather, and he increased the IGR and all that. Now, we are not talking about resource generation. We are talking about resource management. You increasing the IGR of the state can come either way. Either by increasing the tax, which of course was what he did in Lagos, or by cutting down excesses, which he couldn't do and he didn't do. If he did, Lagos State wouldn't have been flung into more debt than it was already before his coming as a governor in 2009. So, he taxed the people who paid through their nose, who shut down businesses. That was the era that many multinationals left Lagos and, of course, left Nigeria. But at the end of the day, no project were seen to have been carried out effectively by him to justify the budget over the 8 years that he was in power. Some people will say, show me one bridge that was constructed by Tinubu and I will stop campaigning for Labour Party. And none has been shown so far. Rather, what the government goes to do is to claim that they did the new Eco-Atlantic project. It has been shown with conviction that that project was even a private project by Indian brothers. Now, today, Lagos State is the worst indebted state in Nigeria. So what I'm talking about, Nigeria is already very deep down in loans. We are indebted to nations. Do we need to go further down? Absolutely no. We don't need to go further down. Rather, we should find a way, God help us, to come out from this debt so that we can be economically independent. But when you are in big debt, you become economically dependent. Your decisions can only take effect with the permission of those to whom you are indebted. And that is what is happening to Nigeria now. There are certain things that Nigeria cannot do because they must conform to the terms and conditions of the loans they took from other nations. So we need to come out of that so that we can independently carry out our national concern and, of course, hold strong our foreign policy. So, ladies and gentlemen, fellow concerned Nigerians, you see the need to support P2B, who is a known prudent manager, a judicious man, a man with a sound economic mindset, a man who believes in developing every sector simultaneously, a man who understands that security is important for a place to strive, a man who believes in infrastructural development, a man who believes that educated society is a prosperous society, a man who believes that the society we have used today will take revenge on our children tomorrow, a man who is selfless in approaching public matters, a man who believes in justice and in equity. This was the same man who came into Anambra State and said, "Oh yes, Anambra North has not led this state at all, so let's give them a chance." He wasn't lobbied, he thought it out, and he made sure that happened. So in Nigeria, you can be sure that this man is coming to give equity and fairness, the desired attention, that everybody becomes important. Of course, in that video, you hear him say that police will no longer harass Nigerians. The police will be trained and they're made to become real friends of the people. When you are traveling and you miss the right person to talk to get direction and guidance is a police officer. That, he said, will come back to this nation. Oh well, I don't know how else to put it down, but I'm saying it this way. With the video we played at the beginning of this program, obedience is better than sacrifice. We're going to play it again, and with that, we'll come to the end of the show. But before then, let me tell you that, of course, again, we experienced a challenge, and that's that Peter Evejoe had technical issue that made it absolutely impossible for him to come on stream tonight. But hopefully on Saturday, he will have the opportunity to explain this topic, being himself a partaker of that debate. So we apologize to you most sincerely, and we promise you that will come aboard
Mr. Tilo, just to add to what you are saying, I want to quickly play a very short clip of the Square and B2B performance at last today.
Okay, that's interesting. Please go ahead. Thank you very much.
P, say go, P square, go, P square, go. Say go, P square, go, P square, go. Say go, P square, go, P square, go. Everybody put your hands up in the air. Are you ready? Let's go, let's go. Say to the left, to the right, ho, to the left, 4P to the right, 4 to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the right, to the left, to the left, to the right. Yeah, we tell them say we they come. We they come, huh? Everybody listen up, listen up. Let me speak like I want to speak like our principal tonight. Eh? See, my name is Peter Okoye. I'm P.O. This is Paul. My name is Paul Okoye. P.O. And we have P.O. Of, you know the real P.O.? His name is Peter O.B. See, okay, hold on. Listen, before we continue, listen. Share, these are the 4 people tweeting in the room. No, come on. Okay, so you ready? Port Harcourt, are you guys ready? Oh, let's go! Back again. You ready? Put your busy body here. You be everybody here. Shit! Hey, this is the remix. This is the remix. This is the remix. See them, then they come back again. Because sister B, you get one agenda. Why you put me in between middle of the center? Us be like no pretender. So make you stop to the loop and start to the groove. Peter and Paul the people. Go! We're gonna say they get you, do. We're gonna make you surgery. I love your boom boom bang. You make me really wanna touch your head. When you hook up in the club, go give them a rock. Put your hands up. Put your busy body here. We go surgery here. Everybody here.
Yes, that was P Square, Peter and Paul Okoye. You could hear them say P.O., P.O., and P.O. That's Peter O.B. All right. We thank them, and they are fully obedient. You have to be obedient. Better than sacrifice. And with that, we'll call up the other video, and we'll be saying, have a good night.
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
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 Mama, Papa, where your PVC?
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
Brother, sister, show me your PVC.
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
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 Mama, Papa, where your PVC?
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
Brother, sister, show me your PVC.
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
Obi get ability, carry go. Obi get discipline, carry go. Say forward ever, backward never. Get your BBC, they give them waka. Ahead, yo, go follow Obi go. Anywhere you dey, go follow am go. Mama, Papa, get your BBC. Brother, sister, make we start activity. Yelele, na P.O.B. Morning, noon and night, P.O.B. Get your BBC, Obi. If not to make a choice, I wanna P.O.B. Ebelebe, bola, everywhere na P.O.B. Ebelebe, bola, everywhere na P.O.B. Wara yaka, kupuru yaka, wara yegu, wara yegu.
We masara wa, we masata pi.
Jofu, matofu. Obedience is better than sacrifice.
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 Mama, papa, wear your PVC.
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
Brother, sister, show me your PVC.
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
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 Mama, papa, wear your PVC.
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
Brother, sister, show me your PVC.
Obedience is better than sacrifice.
Kererenke, obi kererenke, kererenke, obi kererenke. Wara yaka, kupuru yaka, wara yegu, wara yegu.
We masara wa, we masata pi.
Jofu, matofu, yeah.
Okay, with that to say good night. See you again on Saturday 9 p.m. Remember, 25th of February, you vote for Labour Party. And the logo is Papa, Mama, Pekin. LP. Good night.